Kevin and Devin show got canceled by Nikola Jokic. And I mean, Lord have mercy.
The Joker.
The second time in 2 years that the Suns have lost an elimination game by some 20 points. Look, and to call it a 20 points was, a blessing at the end, right? It was
down 30 at the half.
It was 30 at the half. I'm sitting at the movies. I went to go see The White Man Can't Jump premiere, right? Actually, George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey were there as well.
You actually went and saw that.
I told you just now. I was at the movies. I saw The White Man Can't Jump premiere.
Was it good?
Right? So I went to the premiere of the movie. So no. I didn't see it. I closed my eyes the whole time and plugged my ears. Yeah, I saw
Racist.
But the thing is, I went and I saw it and I checked my phone at halftime because I'm like, dang, I'm missing the elimination game. What's Book doing? What's Katie doing? Down by 30 at halftime. And then I went back to watching Jack Harlow. But, so we talked about teams that need to move and whether or not the Golden State Warriors they got issues. Don't get me wrong. They got things they got to figure out. But in Phoenix, they got a bad case of the dips. Decisions, issues, problems, and blank.
Yeah.
And the biggest one is DeAndre Ayton.
Really? See, I disagree with that with DeAndre Ayton. I actually tweeted about a week ago, when are we going to start giving this kid props for improving his game, adding the floater, adding the jump hook, crashing the boards? I understand what the contract is, what it is. 4 years, $132 million. Okay, but guys just get money in this business, guys. We're seeing that Jalen Brunson was severely underpaid, right? They need to redo that deal and give him like a supermax deal for the way he played. But guys make money. But when you put the tape on and watch the games, like he's been very, very good and very effective and has grown as a big man in this league without adding a three-point shot to his game. It showed with him being out, there was no resistance, there was no rebounding, and Joker. You know what? I'm done questioning this guy. And it wasn't even big questions. It's kind of like the small, silly, like, is he really that good? Or is it just who they play? Is it circumstances? No, he's really just that damn good. Phoenix, man, you talk about problems. And dips, they got way more than problems than dips, man. It can get real ugly there real fast because they really do have to replenish what they gave away. But Cam Johnson's and Bridges, they just aren't growing on trees in the league. If that was the case, everybody would have one. Those were great defenders.
Cam Johnson is they talk about KD's plug and play. Cam Johnson's a 3-and-D guy who can pretty much, if he's not starting, he's coming off the bench. Mikal Bridges is going to be like a 2 or 3-time All-Star.
Yeah. Like, he can just go fill it up. That's hard to replace, and that's what you gave away. But the question, as I watched that clock tick away, and this is nothing new. People have asked it before, but I think it's worth bringing back up. Could KD leaving Golden State be the biggest mistake leave of a team and franchise that a superstar player in sports has ever done? Like, you could still be there winning, and they would still be winning championships with that team, with that core four, and pulling those other guys we talking about coming in, and we ain't got to worry about them. You got KD back on that squad, but got his 2 rings, thought that would be enough to quiet the noise, compared it to LeBron leaving Cleveland and going to Miami, and I'm like, bro, it's not the same. You need to stay there, bro, because your two ain't going to carry you, and it's starting to look like that. Swept last year out of the playoffs, albeit no Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn, but you were still swept. You know what I'm saying? And then this year to be embarrassed like that, and it wasn't like he went out and had 35 and did his job. He played horribly, and so did Devin Booker. Not getting no more Devin Booker.
Devin Booker was the MVP of the playoffs until the elimination game on the Western Conference side.
So here's the problem with that with me, though. So was he really the MVP of the playoffs?
On the Western Conference side,
Conference?
Yes. I mean,
right.
Devin Booker had a stretch in 3 games where he missed like 8 shots.
I get it. So in my opinion, with that, he got hot as a shooter. I still think Jokic has been the MVP in the Western Conference throughout the playoffs, but I get the Booker thing and why everybody was jumping on it and saying it. But at the end of the day, bro, you cannot be called the next Kobe Bryant and give 12 points and shoot like that. Well, yeah, it's been my beef, though.
But I don't care to the Devin Booker Kobe Bryant comparison. Hold on. It doesn't matter to me. But the idea that Devin Booker is not a killer,
that's fine. Silly. But I care though because you're putting him in the stratosphere of players.
I'm not talking about Kobe Bryant.
I'm not talking about Kobe. Listen, hear me out. You're putting him, by mentioning that, you're putting him in the stratosphere of players that is supposed to carry a franchise and do big things with that franchise. He not doing that. And then you show up in a game, an elimination game, in a game 6 at home, and that's what you put on the floor. So it's not about Kobe. It's the fact that when you mention that, okay, so now you got to be in that strategy.
I've never mentioned. I haven't brought up Kobe Bryant today. But Devin Booker is a killer in the postseason, and if he didn't play at the rate that he was playing, and averaging like 30-some points a game, shooting over 50% from the floor, in some games even 70% from the floor, like they would have been out to the Clippers.
If was an eighth, we'd all be high,
and they would have been out to the Clippers. Like so, but like I'm not talking.
So they're out in 6 to the Nuggets. That's better, Martin.
Absolutely. That's the Nuggets. Are the Nuggets not the team supposed to win the West right now?
So, bruh, you eliminated in the first or second round for this team is not a difference. It don't matter. You're supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals or at least the finals.
Eliminated in the first or second round doesn't matter.
No.
There's no
not when you're not caliber a team, when you got them type of players. No. For the Knicks, yes, it matters because they're building. But for the Suns with KD and Devin Booker, whether it's the first or second round, hell no, that don't matter, bro. You're supposed to be at least in the Western Conference Finals with the talent you have.
If the Suns lost in the first round to Russell Westbrook and the Clippers, there would already be heads rolling. It absolutely matters that the team advanced to the second round. Every so often when we have these generational MVP type players who are Jokic, don't get me wrong, one of the best players this generation. It reminds me a lot of James Harden, another one of the best players this generation. When he was at the peak of his powers, people were like, I just don't like to watch it. Right, and I'm just like, oh,
because it was unlike anything else in the league.
But it's like, what's wrong with watching guys step back and hit? You know, it's in your face. It's in your face. Like you guys don't like watching elite shot making. I'm sorry, but anyway, I enjoy watching Jokic play. I just wanted to see where you were on that one because I find it interesting to see that people say they don't, but he's a killer.
You know, my favorite reason for watching him play is that no matter how good he plays, you still are waiting for like the fall off or waiting for him to do something where you can go, see, he's not that good. Look, like the man is 7 feet 285. He ain't got no cuts. He ain't got no muscles. He ain't got no shoulders, no bicep, nothing. He's really up and down when you watch him. He lost a lot of weight. Remember, he came in the league. He was a little pudgy, and he got serious about his diet and his workout plan, and he lost a lot of weight. And when you watch him out there, he's like, dude, how is he bowing and moving people like that? Yeah, he's 7 feet and he's 285, guys.
He's built like a big refrigerator.
Well, Paul George was just on a podcast with Karl Anthony Towns, and they were talking about Jokic. And they said, and Towns said, he goes, you don't know how solid and strong he is until you go to try to box him out or you go to post him up. And Paul George was like, yeah, I went and took a foul from him. I was like, goodness gracious, what did I run into? He looks long and gangly and lanky, but he's not. And he's tough, man. He's that Serbian. He's Serbian tough. That guy,
you know how,
pretty to watch,
how football players from like Central Florida, like the Deerfield Beach area, they all are like kind of short, fast, and they all kind of are juking.
And chase rabbits.
Yeah, exactly. They all come from. Like Jokic has what I like to call countryman strength.
Yeah.
Like because he grew up cutting down trees, baling hay, racing horses,
pushing the tractor when it won't start up.
Like, you gotta have countryman strength for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the process of moving. It's grown man strength to lift the couch.
Yeah.
I'm not working out for that, but it's grown man strength.
You'd be sore, right?
I'll be sore, yeah. But Jokic has got countryman strength right there. And the thing that is so fascinating to me about watching him play is he is so skilled in the fundamentals.
Yes.
And talent-wise, I mean, in terms of the fundamentals and, like, how to play basketball, right? Just the way to – exactly. You look at these guys, a lot of guys – fake travel, right? And like in high school, your refs calling that a travel.
Yep.
You know, some college refs are calling that a travel. It's the NBA. We understand. We're not here to see the refs. If a guy takes 1 or 2 steps, unless his name is Austin Reeves, he got called for a few of them travels last game. But my point remains: Jokic's footwork is top level. His passing is top level.
Yeah.
And it really almost is a very interesting dichotomy because you look at the guy who's clearly the best player on the team. But his ability is so rooted in other people making shots.
Yeah.
Because you can't get an assist if they're not making it.
They're making it.
And he hits guys in the, like, his ability to dominate the game while passing and not being a great defender. It's fast. It's really going to be, I'm really looking forward here.
Him and AD.
To watch him and AD.
Him against AD.
I kind of think that, you know, Anthony Davis in the bubble had his way with Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
Since then, all Nikola Jokic's done has won the MVP of the league. Right? Since then, he's won it twice. Yeah. And this year, we had a whole philosophical debate whether or not we could give him 3 in a row.
Yeah. Another thing about him I just find really funny, he's not fast at all. Like when you watch him run.
He got a YMCA game.
It's like, yo, how aren't y'all catching up to him and just poking it from behind or stealing the ball or something? Like, how do you not block that? His floater. And I was watching the game the other night, and Hubie Brown, one of my favorite color guys, and I tweeted, capital letters, Hubie Brown's on the call tonight. Yes, because Hubie Brown just really knows how to break down a basketball game, and it makes you fall in love with the player he's talking about because he describes it in a way that everyone can understand and everyone can appreciate. If you can't appreciate Jokic as a basketball fan and then as a basketball player in this league, something's wrong with you. Like, I don't even want to talk hoops with you if you don't think Jokic is not that. So I had a friend text me the other night, come on, you really think he's that good? I said, you don't? He's like, I mean, I just think it's a lot of hype. I said, okay, it's hype. Like, bro, have you seen his numbers? Have you seen that's not hype, bro. He does that against everybody. So yes, I love watching him play. I am super excited, but I'm more excited to see what Jamal Murray does this series. That's who I'm excited to see. Because the last time these two teams played in the bubble, who had a coming out party?
Well, it was Jamal. The bubble was Jamal Murray's coming out party, and
Mitchell and Butler,
and then several injuries came from that. You know what I'm saying? And he hasn't quite been there, but there's a reason why I picked the Kings over the Lakers initially, and that's dynamic point guard, right? De'Aaron Fox. We saw what happened in this Lakers-Warriors series. When the Lakers lost, what happened? Steph Curry went incredible, right? Jamal Murray, they've been talking about you just like they talk about Jokic, pal. You got time on the big stage, Crypto.com arena.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.